Hello, Guardians, and welcome to Destiny Reset, episode 88. This podcast is about anything and everything related to Destiny the game. If you love playing Destiny as much as we do, you're in the right place. This reset, we catch up on the past 2 weeks of the Age of Triumph streams, we discuss the Destiny 2 poster leak, and wax nostalgic on 3 years of Destiny. Hello, Guardians, and welcome. It's Arrow Knight, and here with me, Cyborg Sasquatch.
I wasn't sure for a moment if you were waiting for me to say, it's Cyborg.
We never know until the moment
I just
is
have
here.
to wait and feel out the pause.
Yeah, you know it's okay if we have a pregnant pause.
Yeah, super pregnant.
They even put one in the episode that happened in General Chat last week.
True that, they did. Speaking of, we're back.
We're back.
We missed you last week. We hoped you missed us, but we're back, and we sure have a lot to talk about.
We do, yes, we do.
2 weeks worth. So I'm glad to be here. How are you, man?
I'm great, dude. Doing great.
Good. It's the weekend.
It is, yep.
It's Friday night for us.
Friday.
Oh, yes, it's Friday night.
Trials Day.
What a night.
Even though I haven't participated in that event probably for the longest ever since it launched. It's been 2 weeks.
It's kind of strange, man. You feeling okay?
Yeah, I was going to say, guys, don't think at least speak for myself. I haven't been playing Destiny with this extra week we had, so I don't know about Cyborg. Did you fit in? Have you fit
I played
in
some. I haven't completely checked out like some people have.
Oh, man.
I get a good couple logins a week.
Dude, I don't know.
A lot of other stuff to play, and life is happening, and
it is.
It's an okay time for things to be a little slow. I'm not complaining, and come reset, we've got some fun stuff to tackle. So
that's for sure, dude.
Let's get the show on the road so we can talk about that.
I'm ready.
All right. Are you ready? We got a special geography lesson this week. If you don't know what that is, geography lesson is a part of the show where you, the listener, can write in, tell us who you are, where you're from, what's so special about that place, and what's your favorite class in Destiny. You could be featured right here. And we've got a special one because we actually had a speak pipe submitted, so I don't have to read it. Courtesy of Snatching Panda, about 40 minutes outside Seattle, Washington, somewhere. He sent us a little speak pipe for you to listen to.
Hello, Derp fam. It's the one and only Snatching Panda, reporting to you from my home in the woods. Located 40 miles northeast of Seattle, Washington, in the foothills of the Cascade Mountains, my home is surrounded by 2,000 acres of protected wilderness. Fluffy Fingers MD recommended I provide you with a geography lesson, so I will oblige. Having just moved to the area, I figured the best way to do this was to ask the other citizens of the woods for their input. So let's step outside and see who's available for comment. Oh look, a mule deer. Excuse me, Mr. Buck. Mr. Buck, come back. I just have a few questions. Wait, slow. He's really fast. Let's see if anyone else is around. Oh, over there's a possum. Let's see if she has any insight. Mrs. Opossum, what can you tell me about the area? Have you lived here your whole life? Do you have anything to say? Apparently she declines comments. Mr. Squirrel, that's a very fluffy tail you have there. What can you tell me about the— Ow! You little damn furry rat! Cut, this is over! We're done!
Wow. Well, that was unique. Thank you, Panda, for sending that along. Maybe next time you'll have some luck with some of those animals in the forest, but until then, we appreciate that. I don't think he told us what his favorite class was. I don't think.
And tweet us, let us know. We probably already know.
You want to guess?
I'm gonna say Warlock.
I think he's a Titan.
Is he a Titan?
He might be.
It kind of seems right. I feel like we should know. He's all over General Chat.
I know. But sometimes I lose track and I get mixed up unless it's somebody that's like a real jerk about it, like a hunter or something.
Ooh. You would say it when we don't have one on the show.
Hey, man. I get away with what I can.
Well, have we ever I know we've had, I think, a speak pipe in the announcements area of the show, maybe even a random one for the geography lesson. But have we ever had like an official geography lesson via speak pipe?
I don't think so, man.
Well, there you go.
There you go. There's a
That's
first
cool.
for everything.
Awesome.
Hey, guess what I got in the mail this weekend?
Dude, I know.
My Derp Fam t-shirt.
And miscellaneous merch.
And miscellaneous merch. I got the hoodie, which I was wearing until it got hot in here, which is really comfy and awesome. My wife was like, that looks good on you. I was like, thanks, honey.
No, you have to wear the hood and everything throughout the entire recording session.
Oh, dude, I'm going to be sweating.
While you drink your coffee.
This is not a good, I shouldn't have told you about this. And I got my shirt and I got a sticker and I got a mug that I am drinking coffee out of right now, which is awesome. Did you get a mug yet?
I'm jelly, dude.
Bro.
I'm jelly. I have absolutely no idea, like, what is going on, but I haven't even placed my order yet.
I mean, you have no excuse, really. Just besides
I know,
that you just
man.
haven't thought about just getting it done.
I've went to it and like looked at it and just like drooled, and then the pictures come in and I'm like, wait a second, I haven't even ordered mine yet. What?
Wait a
what
minute,
is
people
going
are
on?
getting theirs. Well,
Like-
it's, last year there was like a 2 or 3 week time period that you had to place your order, and then they all went out. But it's so awesome that Teespring has it set up now where they just have a 3-day campaign, and it just like recurs and sets it back up every 3 days. So you get your order in, and then 3 days later they print everything and ship it out. And man, it's like within like a week, people had their stuff and
Yeah,
pictures
it's
are
awesome.
rolling in. I got to say thank you guys for picking up your shirts or hoodies and everything else. If you bought something, we really appreciate that, and it does support this podcast. And the pictures are awesome. You guys look
they're
handsome.
awesome, dude. They're so cool.
And keep sending them in, because we are trying to do something. But if you don't know what we're talking about, and if you haven't taken a gander at our awesome community designed t-shirt for this year, go to teespring.com/derpfam, DRPFAM, and take a gander. All proceeds go to support this podcast and the production as such.
Oh, they do? I guess I need to go order one then, dude. Okay.
You might want to put your money where your mouth is, my
Yeah,
friend.
Right. Yeah, I can tell you, I think I visited the site almost daily, and I look at it and I'm like, yeah. Oh yeah, that's right.
It's
I need
not
to
just
hit
pretend,
place.
it can
I need
be
to hit
real.
Place order. What in the world? You are right though. The new way they're doing it is fantastic. It's awesome.
Yeah. And if you're going to Guardian Con, because we're going to be there, we would love for you to sport one of these awesome shirts on the day that we will appear in the podcast theater to support us. So that would be awesome. And I mean, we talked about it, but I'm just going to throw it out there. I might have some to give away.
Oh,
I might have a few. Might have several, actually.
wow.
Get ready.
I
mean, you got to
we have
give out
connections,
merch, right? Yeah, we got some. We could get that special prize, right?
We may be able to
Anyways.
come across a few.
Hey, we got a one announcement that we almost forgot to put on the notes this week.
Yes.
Could you tell us about this meetup, sir,
I
please?
can do that. Yes, Mr. J. Howard 414.
As if we don't talk about him enough.
Enough. The guy that created the shirt that we just talked about for several minutes. There's a meetup in Wisconsin.
Yes.
It is Saturday, April 8th at 3:30 p.m. How do you think we say this pub here?
Bodega.
Bodega Brew Pub.
Brew Pub.
If you want to go, if you're anywhere close to there, it's in La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Yep.
La Crosse. Hit them up. Saturday, April 8th, 3:30 p.m.
Yeah.
If
That's
you're
coming up.
in our Discord, it's J Howard, JH0WARD 414.
Yep.
He
And
can
if you're
help
not
you
in the
figure it out.
Discord and you're a guardian that just wants to go meet some other Destiny players, you're certainly welcome. And if you want, if you can't get in the Discord, just email us or something. We'll put you in touch with them
Yes.
if you need details. But again, Saturday, April 8th at 3:30 p.m. Bodega Brew Pub. you probably just could show up and everything would be awesome.
There'll already be hopefully some shirts there, which he'll get a kick out of course, seeing his design.
Can't wait to see, man.
Yeah, and like Cyborg said, email us, whatever. You could even tweet at Destiny Reset because Mr. Howard is also on Twitter, and it's the same.
Call.
It's the same, so
good call.
We can connect you in many ways. So very cool. I love, man, we love the little Derp fam get-togethers that happen all over the place.
Dude, I love how there's just regular meetups all the time. It's
well, that's when Deej tweeted that out. I'm like, a couple of the Derp fam, messaged us and said, "Look at Deej's tweet," and we're like, "Oh, we got tons of these."
A bunch of people were sending pictures.
Yep. Great stuff.
That was great. Well,
dude, let me ask you because I can probably sum my mine up in less than a minute. Cyborg, how was your reset?
My reset was fabulous.
How was your double reset?
My last 2 resets have mostly consisted of playing Nightfalls and playing Strikes and the occasional Crucible match for what they call poops and giggles. And just some casual play. I have been jumping on and made sure at least for the past couple weeks that I am buying some of those ships and sparrows that I don't have for that upcoming record book. And I'm blowing through a lot of glimmer. I'm not going to lie.
I was going to say, are you running Strikes for a reason? You trying to...
Just for fun.
Oh, just for fun?
Imago loop farming.
I got you.
Which is pointless because the Fatebringer's come back, so that didn't even matter
right.
Right. I try to run it a couple times every week to get a fake bringer, and haven't got one yet. But I mean, now we can get one.
Yep.
So there's no more purpose to that.
I have to say right now, and we won't get into it till the main. But I was thinking today, watching some videos, how predictions are a funny thing. How do we not predict what the last phase of Destiny 1 was going to be? Because it just seems like it's like slapping me right in the face now, dude.
Seems like a very natural
right?
conclusion now.
I'm like, I
here.
have to say this to Cyborg because I'm like driving in the car today listening to some Destiny related stuff, and I'm like, this completely makes sense what they're doing. Anyway, sorry, reset.
You're right though. No, we'll talk about some of that, of course, coming up. Our thoughts on Age of Triumph, but so yeah, that's the majority of my reset, man. Just kind of fooling around, kind of just prepping a little bit. I know folks are buying a lot of heavy ammo synths from Xur this weekend so that they can get faction packages and the like, which, I did that before Rise of Iron, and I don't think I need to anymore.
Yep. Yeah,
I might buy some. I think there's one faction ship I don't have, which is one of the Future War Cult ones. So I might try to get that. We'll see.
Dude, I just haven't. I have Horizon and I have Wildlands. I've scratched the surface of both of those games. Horizon a little more so than Wildlands, but I just flat out. I mean, Destiny sounds as fun as it always does. I have not been on much of anything for the last 2 weeks. It's just been, a couple weeks of non-gaming. So,
we've been busy.
It happens, we got right?
Work and family stuff. It's like I was saying, it's not a terrible time to have some downtime away from the console. Cause I've definitely as well been playing less than I would normally, just in general, anything,
right?
Yep. And it's been good though, cause I've been like more productive in some ways, getting a little more sleep sometimes.
Well, plus too, like even before Destiny, the majority of the time I'm in game zone. I'm always, a few nights a week I'm playing video games at night. But there would always be those, like 2 to 4 weeks in a year where I would just kind of like step back from playing. You know what I mean? Like you just have those like little breaks from gaming, and they're like healthy little breaks,
No, it's really good. It's really good because I, I'd say about 4 weeks ago or so, like I barely played anything but just maybe a little bit of Destiny. And it just kind of felt good to just kind of like free myself up. Like, we're just going to not play stuff this week.
Yep.
or it was like 10 days, and
It's a healthy
just did
thing.
other stuff, like did a little 10-day stretch of push-ups every night.
Usually it
Went to
tends to
bed
happen
early.
when it's nicer outside too.
Yeah.
But yeah, for sure, dude. I think
Yeah,
I've played, no joke, no exaggeration, I think I've played 2 or 3 Crucible matches in the last 2 weeks. Like 2 or 3 Rumble games, that's it. And that was the reset before last. I don't think I've played any this reset.
I think it's okay because we got some exciting stuff.
Dude.
Launching on reset. It's going to drag you back in.
We do.
So we'll make up for that lost time.
I can't wait to talk about it because I keep having these little moments when I'm watching these videos and stuff where I'm like, oh, dude, like I'm going to have that feeling again when that thing drops. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
it's exciting.
Yeah. I feel like Rise of Iron was kind of like artificial. What's the word I'm looking for? Now I'm drawing a blank. It'll come back around. I do that thing where I forget words and I can't talk.
We all do it, man.
Anyways, artificial nostalgia.
There you go.
Like they were trying to capitalize on that.
Yep.
But now with actually bringing all this stuff in, I'm actually experiencing like actual nostalgia. So it's not like forced, but I'm thinking about like the first time I ran VOG, like the team that I met my personal fire team that I do all my raid stuff and all the first run throughs, the content when it drops every time when, Crota's End dropped.
Nice.
So now I'm like kind of thinking about that and like how I met all my buds and kind of wax the nostalgic, it's kind of fun. So I'm like, guys, we gotta get together, man. Like old time's sake, we gotta run Crota next week,
It's crazy to think how long Destiny's been around already. Really,
it's been a while, man. It's been a while now.
Been a bit.
It's funny though, because it's the only game I've ever been a part of where at some point in the life cycle you're feeling nostalgic about it already. It seems like it's kind of a short period to do that.
Right. Yeah.
But
it's working.
People spend so much time in it. It's like you have to. Anyways, that's my 2 cents on that. So did you do anything else in your reset? I know you've been playing a little bit of Horizon Zero Dawn. Did you get any more of that in this week?
I didn't, dude. I don't think I did a little bit towards the end of last week. I'm finally out of the starting zone. Ran into a different kind of larger robotic dinosaur, and it was pretty epic. I'm pretty sure there's much more to come in that game, but no, dude, that's
a robot dinosaur,
right? Yeah, but Rusted Lands last weekend, Shores of Time this weekend, and maybe I hope to fit in a card this weekend.
Do some trials. I know there's a bunch of guys out there trying to get their flawless in.
I had a moment today, dude. I feel like I'm having all these little moments. I'm like, oh, like all these raids, because I've mentioned this many times on the show, dude. I played nothing but PvE until Trials came out. I played a little bit of Crucible. So seeing Vault of Glass and the weapons and the Crota, I'm like, I may just become PvE Arrow Knight a little bit again.
I'd love to see it come out, man.
But we'll see.
Then we could do some raids together.
We could.
It'd be fun.
Well, cool. News this week, dude.
Oh me, oh my!
Yeah,
is there some news?
There's a nice.
Let's save the juiciest for last.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a nice one. That's exciting.
It's hard to contain. So this week at Bungie, and we're talking about this week at Bungie. We know we missed a week, guys, but we're just gonna have to depend on that you went and got your news somewhere else last week. I'm sorry.
No last week at Bungie.
This week at Bungie, there was a reveal stream for, I guess what they call it, the Sandbox and Rewards.
Yes.
That was pretty cool fashion show to watch.
Mm-hmm.
So we watched that go down, and then they talked a little bit about some of the Sandbox changes, and we'll talk about that. And then they talked about some extra things they didn't mention in the stream. Josh Hamrick came in and talked about, I guess, some of the vendor stuff that's going to change.
Dude, that was awesome to hear.
Yeah. So weekly rotating perks on armor and weapons from vendors.
Mm-hmm. That's just like one of those things that probably will be instantly the case in Destiny 2. Like,
yeah,
why we didn't have that the whole time. It's just seems like a simple, nice little freshness to the game each week.
Right.
So
that'll be awesome. And I hope that you're right, and that is the case in Destiny 2.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be cool to keep an eye on those and maybe actually have something to spend legendary marks on when an interesting roll pops up on a weapon or something.
Mm-hmm.
And then they're going to have a new quest available for Necrochasm.
They say how we get that?
Well,
is it the same?
He did mention on Twitter to hold on to your crux.
Oh, okay.
If you have one, but that you will have to re-earn it.
Okay.
Which is kind of a scary thought. So hopefully the quest and the crux will drop a little more generously in this new iteration. And then they mention every primary from every raid has a new exotic adept version that has been blessed with an elemental damage type, with the exception of King's Fall normal weapons and armor will not be available through the 390 light raid reprisal. And then all the primaries from each raid will have a legendary version without an elemental damage type.
And
so
you can...
some...
Yeah, which I guess, we're kind of overlapping our main topic, but you can get those only from the weekly raid, right? The is that what it said? Yeah.
I think the
adept versions, the exotic.
I think
adept.
the adept versions you get from the challenges.
Oh, okay.
And so I'm assuming that means when the 390 versions come up, they have all the challenges on each raid active.
Mm-hmm.
And so you'll have more opportunities. But I'm wondering if after they, say it's not on that week, but it's been released, if you can do the challenge or if the challenge will rotate.
I know, because think about
Kinda,
it, like you don't get Fatebringer to drop.
Right.
Your first pass. It's like, wait a second, when can I try again?
Yeah. But at least you could get a legendary version normally.
True. Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Because really the elemental damage type really only is useful for like those nightfalls with burns.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the reason you always wanted them back in the day. So we'll see. But what else do we have here? They mention that the weekly heroic and nightfall playlists will be unavailable from 2 a.m. on March 28th, which is Tuesday, the reset, until the release of Destiny Update 2.6.0 at 10 a.m. Pacific. Same thing for the weekly Crucible playlist. So don't plan on playing any of that stuff after 2 a.m. Pacific.
What's up with the mountaintop Crucible quest? That's the...
I guess they're just giving it the shaft. It's done.
I mean, they haven't said... Did they say anything about that before the weekly update? I'm reading that and I'm like, that's interesting. So basically the mountaintop Crucible quest line, they're doing away with it.
Says will be retired.
Yeah, you will no longer, well, they said basically if you complete quest steps that are actively held by characters after release, it will not progress to any further steps. So you will no longer be able to get the Hothead legendary rocket launcher, which
is a big deal. I mean, you're really going to want the worst rocket launcher in the game.
I know, I was going to say, which is fine unless you're a collector.
I have it, but
I do still have mine. I know, as soon as you get that after that whole quest line, because I don't think I really looked up what I got, and then I got it, and I'm like, what?
If they had made it like a decent rocket launcher, maybe an exotic with like some kind of cool perk, that would have been awesome, like an awesome way to earn that.
Yeah.
But it's literally just a really terrible legendary rocket launcher. Like, I don't know what the disconnect was there.
Well, it's like, trials weapons that aren't good in PvP, it's just...
Yeah.
I mean, they can't make every weapon amazing, but, at least decent.
For the longest, hardest quest in the game, they could have made a better
Right?
reward.
Yeah. I mean, when's the last time you used a Trials hand cannon?
Right.
Ever? I don't even know if we ever have wanted to use one of the Trials hand cannons. Was the first one decent? I can't even remember. Anyways.
I think there's been one or two that were okay, but point taken.
Yeah. I have to mention, too, I wanted to mention the awesome image we got in this week at Bungie, the Age of Triumph.
The GIF or the thing at the top?
Sorry, the thing at the top. No, not the very top.
Yeah.
The picture just a little ways down. But what is up with them always giving us 900 aspect ratio images? I want my 1920 by even if I drop it in Photoshop, I can't, I have to
they might have
black.
it in the they put out an Activision press kit for this. They might have it in there.
I just, it's I want to make it my wallpaper.
I know.
The simple things, man.
I know.
I could just drop it in that, I guess, and fade to black on the corners. I don't know.
Yeah, you know how to do those Photoshops.
Right now, Zelda's my background.
Nice.
And I don't even own a Switch or Zelda, but
it's okay, man.
Everybody
you can
loves
still
Zelda.
Be a fan. There's a few last little things Cosmo threw in at the end here. Crucible daily bounties will be updated to be more inclusive, no longer requiring specific subclasses or fire teams. Here's a big one. Fixed an issue where a player on the surviving team could use Fireborn to cause the round to continue even when all enemies are dead. If you ran across that, it's very frustrating.
I only ran into it a handful of times, but it was enough.
Yeah, I've seen it twice, and I was just this is bull.
Mm-hmm. Definitely.
So those are the important things there. Miss 5,000 watts is the Bungie bounty this week. That was March 25th, which has already happened if you're listening, but that was on PS4. Mm-hmm. She's in the Washington area. Really cool streamer and podcaster.
They said another member of our community has volunteered. I'm well, I guess maybe we need to message them and tell them we want to do it together.
I volunteer.
I volunteer
Aranita's tribute. It's like the Hunger Games.
Did you see
stand in place?
Good old Duba?
Duba with the movie of the week again.
Is this twice in a month or two?
It's twice in a month or so.
Yeah.
But you have been a huge fan of his Beauty of Destiny stuff. And I remember, not long ago, you even saying hey man, I love these. When are you going to do them again? So I think he got the hint.
I think so. Yeah, this one's fantastic, dude.
The Beauty of Destiny Vaulted Glass. Definitely go check it out because he does a great job at putting these together. I really enjoy them.
It's awesome. Congrats on that, dude. What'd you think about the Nova Bomb montage?
Nova Bomb montage.
It's funny because I was waiting for nothing but Nova Bombs, but then he gets some sweet icebreaker jump shots within the first minute.
Just got to throw those in for good measure, right?
Yep.
Always enjoy the community content. It's just never ceases to amaze. There's always some really fresh, cool stuff people are making.
Yep.
To go up on here,
That is for sure, man.
Good stuff. So that was this week at Bungie.
Yeah.
In other news,
I don't think there was anything else.
Nothing really consequential, right? Just a small poster
leak
that was leaked of Destiny 2.
What's so crazy is we gotta say this isn't confirmed, but
it's confirmed by the Oracle, Jason Schreier.
Yeah. How more legit can it look or be or seem? Wow.
It's definited real, dude.
Yeah, dude.
There's two different images from two different places with the same poster.
That threw me off at first. First, guys, sorry. 2 poster leaks. Destiny 2. A release date.
September 8th.
There's even, you'll love this, Cyborg. I thought of you almost instantly. What looks to be a PlayStation exclusive content logo.
Oh my god, dude!
Up towards the top right of the poster, which kind of stinks, but still,
couldn't believe it.
In this particular scenario, makes it even a little more authentic. And then at the bottom, it talks about a beta.
Yeah.
So
no date or anything on it, but people are already speculating sometime in June.
I mean, this is fantastic.
The weird thing about that September 8th date that also people are kind of waxing on is that is a Friday.
Oh, is it really?
Which games always come out on Tuesdays. Right?
I wonder if do you think it's different in different countries?
I think it might be the international or European release date.
Okay.
That's what I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So if that's the logical case, then we could maybe expect September 5th. Would be more realistic for a release date here stateside.
What I was going to say is what threw me off at first is the actual which we talked about this via text this week. The choice of their design of the poster, like the 3 Guardians with 2 with no helmets, right? And like we couldn't see the whole thing, but it was just kind of like, I wonder, like, what are they? You even text me and were like, I don't really know what's going on there or what the.
Yeah.
I'm
not terribly. I'm intrigued, but I'm not terribly impressed by the poster.
Yeah,
it's like this is what I'm assuming is a teaser poster for a big release for them, and maybe for like an additional poster or something like that. Like this could kind of make sense, but there's no context for the game. Like you just see like 3 people in sci-fi gear with guns, like looking like it's an intense scenario.
Yeah. Yep.
Like
I thought it was weird
compare
too,
that to the box art for Destiny Vanilla.
Is the left Guardian of the 3? Do they have a helmet on? Because I think the middle and the right, the Titan.
No, it's like a lady, with like long hair.
Okay,
and so I think it's that
warlock. Was even like weird to me too that they were in the middle of an intense scenario and they maybe we're looking into it too much, but they don't have their helmets on.
Yeah, but hey, the Titan looks like he's wearing Suros body armor. The which I'm assuming is a hunter, I think, or no, that's the warlock's on the right. The lady is a hunter on the left, I think, and the warlock's got a Suros shotgun. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's neat.
But if that's all we can pull from this poster, like, why did they choose this as their promotional image? Like, it tells you nothing about the game besides, hey, space and guns.
Yep.
I don't know.
Nonetheless, you always wonder if this stuff's leaks. It seems to be in this case, or strategic guerrilla marketing. But I'm thinking to myself, why would they like this? The timing of this to come out right before Age of Triumph, like that doesning make sense. And
it's
then
definitely not on purpose.
Then my immediate second thought though is, but wait a second. This will make you want to jump back in and start playing right now. I mean, we got an update coming out Tuesday.
I guess, yeah, that's not a bad point.
My first thought is like, nah, timing doesn't make sense. And then afterthought is like, well, I don't know. But yeah, I think it's definitely a picture upload.
It's really hard not to put on the tinfoil hat and just think, well, there's like a back channel that they you almost have to like have a conspiracy theory that they have like a back channel for marketing. Right. And it's like, okay, this isn't official, but your job is to make sure that this gets leaked on this day.
Right.
And then there's a guy that, obviously Jason Schreier has a contact at Bungie that confirms or denies stuff for him, right? Or comments. Because he was like, oh, I read the text wrong. They're not going to announce today. So, like, obviously he's talking to somebody over there.
They they have meetings.
You have
at
to
Bungie.
wonder if it's like, well, it's your job to unofficially confirm and deny stuff to this person, Yeah,
I know. They have meetings at Bungie and they're like, okay, now you're his contact.
Right.
Let's run down what you can confirm and where you can't.
Right. It's like, here's the gray area that you can live in.
Yep.
You can say this, but not this.
It's amazing, more realistically here, somebody snapped a picture and uploaded it. It's amazing. Like, they got to know when it gets to a certain point that it's got to be almost impossible to keep things under wraps,
Yeah, obviously.
When promotional materials are going out and this and
obviously it's been pretty difficult.
Even the company that's making the poster, it's like.
Right.
Yeah. Anyways.
Well, some guy commented on a thread on this on Reddit, and he was like, yes, so I work for a company that handles promotional assets. And yeah, we've been working on this stuff, and I can confirm that this is real, and we've been doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, like, there's a lot of people involved in promoting a game like this. There's going to be leaks.
But it's exciting, man. This is the second or third exchange on our show of Destiny 2 talk, so I mean it's about as exciting as it gets. Yep.
I just can't. And then there was one other thing. There was a NeoGAF thread, and somebody had like an Excel file with like in-depth schedule of presentations at E3, and one of them listed a Destiny 8-minute gameplay trailer scheduled, but then apparently it was debunked. So we don't know if that's real or not, but it's definitely interesting.
Man, I'm sitting here. You got me going here because I didn't hear about that.
I want to get you on the seat of your pants. Huh? Yep.
Exciting
dig
stuff.
For that.
Exciting
so
stuff.
Yeah, so fun week in speculation this week.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. So that was the news.
There's all your news.
Ready to talk about the sandbox and weekly rituals and rewards and everything over the past 2 weeks?
I am. The sandbox stream was pretty full of fun stuff.
Fashion.
I had to go back and like watch a recap on the weekly rituals one just to remember what was in that one because it was a little bit shorter.
Yeah,
but we're gonna
run us down what you like out of that stuff. Do you have any opinion on that before we talk about this week?
One thing that stood out on the weekly rituals is, like I think I missed some stuff, or maybe it was after the fact, but like all the way down to little details, like apparently the daily heroic, you can run like 5 times in one sitting now to get 100 marks instead of, for the week, instead of having to do it each day. Did you catch that?
Well, I know that it's been like, for a while, it's been that you could run it 3 times in a row in the Siva Heroic playlist, and you could get up to 30 marks.
30 marks,
but you can get a lot more now.
Yeah, I was watching a recap today. I actually think it was maybe on Bife's channel. He said you can get up to 100, and you can run it all in one sitting, so you don't have to do it once each day or the 3. But just little things like that, man. And then, of course, all the way to the Daybreak Strikes. Dude, when I was watching them play that, it reminded me of like running through a Rift instance in Diablo 3. Like just fun. Like you're just killing stuff. You get your super, boom, 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 you get your abilities, and you're just killing stuff, man. And
I think they're definitely tapping into that fun factor that we've gotten from like Challenge of Elders or what's the patrol, Archon's Forge.
Oh, Archon, yeah.
Like there's a huge fun factor that I get
definitely
out of just going nuts with abilities and like orb chaining and all that stuff that I think is going to make these Nightfalls really fun.
I think so too. I think it's going to be cool.
I'm excited for that. And then the boost is kind of like the blue flames, dude.
Yeah.
They come back, dude.
Yeah, they're coming back.
How exciting is that?
Just how fine-tuned the game is getting. I mean, I feel like we're going to look back at Destiny 1 and once we're playing Destiny 2, I mean, we've talked about this before, but it's going to be like, oh, now we know why Destiny 2 is so awesome, because they were tweaking and fine-tuning and testing us with everything the entire time we played Destiny 1.
Oh, yeah, man. Like, they've definitely had 2 to 3 years of opportunity just to have a test bed for
Yeah,
you know,
man.
what do people like? What did they try that didn't work? What did they try that was awesome?
All the way down to the Blue Flames, they took them away, and now they're like, well, it makes sense. Like you want to go now you're going to go do your Nightfall, and then the rest of the week you got your buff back. Like it just makes sense,
And it's funny. So this week, earlier this week, I got invited to go on the Weekly Apologies podcast.
Yes, I watched some of that, the archived. I didn't make it live.
Man.
Yeah, it was cool. Very cool.
Yeah, so that was with I'm the Blue Ranger and his co-hosts Ramsbug and Hoop. Yeah, really cool, fun people to hang out and talk. So we talked about all kinds of Destiny stuff. Like we're digging way deep into some rabbit holes. But the thing I came away with, like, that I found the most interesting was like just recounting the journey that this game has been through. Like we were talking about how, the later raids were designed so much better in a sense that there wasn't cheese for them when they dropped. Like you had to run things legit. Like they made design choices that, encouraged everyone to play an important role. Mm-hmm. Like, and you take all those things for granted, but they've learned so much through the experience of Destiny 1 that I think that we can look forward to a really engaging and strong experience in Destiny 2 because they've learned a lot as a team
for sure,
and they've figured out how to get better at what they do.
Yeah, and I mean,
I think that's exciting.
How long have they been probably working on Destiny 2 while they've been figuring this stuff out? So it's
at least like 2 years,
right? Yeah, so I agree, dude. Destiny, there's a lot of little things that your Destiny player is probably realizing that's like, oh man, that we've got a pretty promising sequel to look forward to, I think.
It's a very exciting time to live.
Yep. Yes. Yes. It's a very exciting time to be a Destiny, to be addicted to Destiny.
Yeah. One other thing about the weekly rituals that I wanted your opinion on is, the changes that they're making to the available Crucible playlists. Mm-hmm. Did you notice how they're dropping the classic playlists?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I assume the ultimate goal there is to funnel people more into, fewer options. But I wonder too, do you think part of it is also because we're at the end of the life cycle of Destiny 1? Or do you think it's probably a combination of many things, but I like the structure they're going to, even if it wasn't the, the wrapped up period of Destiny 1.
I think it's smart because there's private matches. Mm-hmm, so if you need to, feel the need to do a certain whatever, you can set it up yourself.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And people have been saying for a while that there's too many playlists.
There's a ton, man.
So I think that's kind of narrowing it down is going to give people better games.
Well,
obviously, there's a little bit
a while to find games.
Right.
I mean, like I said, I've played a few matches the last 2 weeks, so my opinion on that is over the last month or two. It's slowly just taking longer and longer.
Yeah.
Which part of that is they're supposed to be looking for connection more now, but then it's just kind of going hand in hand. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's cool. I like it. Everything makes me wonder. Like, I wonder what PvP is going to look like in Destiny 2. We've talked about how we may not even have a director. Like, I just wonder what it's going to look like. I don't know.
A lot of people are just saying ranked and unranked playlists. Mm-hmm. And I think that would be a good move.
I think so.
If we can get that in Destiny 2. I think it'll be good. I think it'll be really good for the hardcore Destiny PvP players to have a rank system that they can constantly work on.
Yeah.
Go into ranked playlists and battle each other, have it mean something. And then to have it, if you can have an unranked playlist where it's just like Destiny 1, you just get matched up and you can just have fun. Mm-hmm. It'll be good for the more casual player. It'll be good for the player that doesn't want to sweat.
Right.
You know, so I
in
don't
and
think it's
goof
just
around.
going to be populated with the lower, 90%. I think it's going to be full a lot. So I'd love to see that. It's all speculation, but
My buddy was telling me I've been wanting to get back on Gears, play some. I love PvP in that game, and I haven't played it much since it came out. And he was telling me, and they're ranked versus social. If you drop out of a ranked game, I guess too frequently, you get timed out for like 15 minutes.
wow,
And you can't re-queue up. So I'm
that's
like,
smart.
yeah, I mean, that'll prevent you if you can't play the game for 15 minutes. That's a decent amount of time.
That'll definitely keep you from dropping games where you might lose.
Yep. You can't even queue up like into social. Like you just flat out can't play
Oh,
PvP.
wow.
Yeah.
So you just can't even do anything.
Yep. That's what he was saying.
That's a good tool.
You'd definitely have fewer games of people just leaving.
No doubt.
But anyways.
So let's talk about this week, what we saw.
Yeah. There was you're right. It was definitely a well planned out fashion show.
Yeah. Do you have any favorites out of the armor they showed off?
I actually I of course like the Vault of Glass.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I think that's what I'm most excited for is the Vogue stuff.
You know, I heard some people say they didn't really care for the Siva stuff, but I actually don't mind that armor. But just what they're doing in general, like, I don't know, bravo to the design
the different
team.
Effects and
Dude.
Yeah. They've
The
really
shooting
stepped
and
it up.
it disappears and it regrows.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
And then didn't even like the Crota gear have little, like didn't they look close and it had little rocks like floating?
Yeah, yeah. So the part that's lit up when you get hit, like there's actually little rocks that are like floating and they shake.
So cool.
And then the lit up part, the energy kind of comes. It's really cool effect. Like
it just makes me wonder. Like I said when we were watching one of the streams, like I always feel like the graphics, even through Twitch, when they're showing us the game, just it looks beautiful. And it's the same thing we see. But it's like we just take it for granted because we log into the game so much. Like just to think about what they're doing with this gear for Age of Triumph, and developers figure out how to develop on hardware more efficiently and better as the hardware is out. So it just makes me again wonder what stuff's gonna look like in Destiny 2.
Yeah, and if we can believe the rumors and leaks that we've seen, supposedly the engine for Destiny 2 is supposed to be vastly improved. So that makes me feel even better.
So,
but yeah, the armor and stuff, all of it is really impressive. We always say this, but kudos to the artists and the design team that build this stuff. It's beautiful. It's impressive. How they continue to just innovate and make it cool.
Definitely. Yep. We get, just to tell them exacts, what are we getting? We're getting a new gear set for each raid.
Yeah. So I think if I understand correctly, the Vault of Glass and Crota's End armor will drop, and it will look, the standard version will look like the year one version. And then when you equip ornaments, it gives you this alternate version, which they showed off last night, which is cool because you're getting both.
Yes, yeah,
so you can, if you got the old stuff, you can get rid of it because you'll have a newer one that you can swap between the new and the 400 light version, which is a smart choice.
Yeah. And did I
smart way to do that?
Understand right too that the ornament, what you'll need for the ornament, you get the ornament is all the
ornament's
same.
Universal.
Yes, you get it from the weekly raid, right? You get it from in there. Yep. So if you and I think again, this was on a summary video I watched maybe of I can't remember for sure, I think, but this is awesome because you say you don't like Crota's first and you don't really want to drop it into Crota. It's like you said, it's universal. You wait till Vault of Glass comes up, save your ornaments.
Yep. That's
Very
smart.
Cool.
So you don't have to have a whole bunch of different ornaments, like 4 different ornaments you're trying to collect. You know?
That would be that would bring back some of the old grinding.
Yeah.
memories.
Yeah,
So.
definitely. And then they showed off, some ornaments for some other exotics. They showed off like a Vex ornament. It looks really cool. The Touch of Malice ornament, the Dragon's Breath ornament. Some really cool spins that they took on those guns. Look really nice.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. And then we talked about the primaries. We already kind of covered that.
Yeah. We get an exotic version of,
an
adept version of all the primaries that we've loved over the years.
But then let's mention the sandbox changes.
Mm-hmm.
So, let's see. I think the most significant ones are hand cannons are getting an approximate 3 meter range nerf.
Mm-hmm.
So they're knocking 3 meters off the effective range of hand cannons,
which is fine. I mean, they're super strong right now. I'm sure it'll be an adjustment for hand cannon users, but typically you're closer, to where you shouldn't notice that too bad, I don't think.
Yeah, and they clarified the damage. What's happening is it affects the damage fall off.
Mm-hmm.
So that essentially the damage fall off starts 3 meters sooner than it does today.
Yeah. Which if you pace your shots, they'll still be excellent.
And if you're in effective hand cannon range, it should make a big difference.
Right.
It just further reinforces the archetype to not be a scout rifle.
There you go.
Yep. It's not a one-handed scout rifle. Some other things, ARs are getting an adjustment again, autos. They're supposed to do more damage at longer ranges. So essentially the damage fall off for autos are going to be a little further out, which I've been playing with, like my Shadow Price and some other stuff in, like PvE activities, and they're getting to a little bit better spot.
I still haven't gotten
effective.
out any of mine to test them. I need to do that.
Try it out. They are making some adjustments to Astrocyte Verse, the worst exotic helmet in the game. Specifically, I think they're taking the buff from +3 to +7 recovery, which could be interesting to play around with.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you spec'd like a max armor, maybe like armor agility, and then threw on Astrocyte Verse, you could get a really good recovery bonus and be fast
at
the same time. So that could be an interesting build, kind of play around with.
Just waiting for you to say special ammo.
Special ammo.
Nothing really, man. Actually, they're making a nice change to sidearms.
Well, they also, I don't know if you caught this, but special ammo will fill your mag upon opening the crate.
Mm-hmm.
That's was a big one.
That's
and we
huge.
talked about that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think a listener was suggesting it, that they really specifically nailed down the problem that they had. And we're like, yeah, that's really a good point. Like, we need that to happen. So now when you pop that special box, it's going to automatically fill your special weapon.
That'll make it even better in 6s because it's pretty.
Definitely.
I still feel like it's pretty cozy in 6s right now. And not having to reload that shotgun if you have one. Is huge. Instant reload. Then of course they changed sidearms to where if you die, you only come back with your mag, right?
Yeah, that's a really important one, so that we're not just in sidearm land.
Yeah,
anymore.
they basically said that they wanted you to have enough to get yourself back to a special box, but that's it. Like, you're not going to do much else with it. I was surprised to see that was it, only because Trials, is interesting right now with the timers on the special boxes. I honestly got to say, if they adjust those timers, that was my initial thought before we even started kind of throwing around the idea of giving us one mag or half a mag. If they adjust the timers on the special boxes in Trials, I still think they are about as close to excellent as they can be right now with the ammo economy. So I hope maybe they tone the timer down a little bit in Trials on those boxes. But
we will see.
I like it. It's cool, man. You may see me playing some more 6s.
So
I like where it's at.
They touched your No Land Beyond.
Yeah, dude, they did. It looked
The
painful
flinch.
in stream, didn't it?
Yeah.
I've been staying positive this whole time, and I told Maddie and co-founder today in Discord that I'm still staying positive, but I put up a little tear face because that looked rough. But again,
it's just like a sniper rifle,
you
man.
gotta fall back. Yeah, it's a sniper rifle. So if I'm not gonna line up my shot and take it before somebody's shooting at me, then I don't know that I deserve the shot.
It just makes it less of a run and gun. Mm-hmm. But you already kind of have it down where if you're like, I watch you play on stream a lot. So if you are trying to line up a corner and you're waiting for somebody, or you're trying to, catch somebody down the lane, you know how to play it correctly, where if you don't get your shot off, like, you immediately turn tail. Like you are not typically like, no, I'm going to stand my ground and I'm going to get this shot off through their shot. Like, you're smart enough to know that that's a gamble. So I don't think it's going to affect you a whole lot.
I hope you're right. It's nice to hear your perspective on my gameplay, because I get in like tunnel vision. I do though, man. I shoot and run. It's like you either get the kill or I'll see you later.
Like, it's actually remarkable how good and how automatic that is for you, because you do it like without missing a beat. And I'm just like, God, I can't do that,
dude.
Yeah, So I don't think it's gonna tear you up. But there are gonna be some players that take advantage of that, no flinch, and they're definitely gonna get wasted. I personally can't wait.
I still have those moments where I'll get a kill with it, and I'm like,
I should have got that.
I should not have gotten that kill. Yeah. So changing soon.
Yep. Did you see the ornament that they showed off for it?
I did, like a digital camo.
Yeah, that looked kind of cool.
It did look cool. I'm not ever like a digital camo's okay. I'm not like camo in general is all right with me. I hope there's two.
I was hoping for like pink camo,
2 ornament slots. Like, I want like I don't even really know what I want. I want something that's the opposite of what, like, the wood grain that it is base. I want like a
super futuristic.
Yeah.
Would be
exactly.
Cool, right?
Yeah.
Make it look like a Barrett or something, like a modern like 50 cal.
Exactly. There you go.
That would be cool.
Yeah. But, any ornament's fine. I got to say, too, just to make sure we don't forget, because I told them we were just going to talk about 2 things this episode: NLB ornaments and Twilight Garrison.
Oh, man.
Shaders.
They showed it off last week.
Yeah, dude. Like, I mean, I've had my black Garrison on my avatar that Khan made us, so I mean, I've had one for a little while there, but in game
though. And it looked really good, man. I think they showed it, and there was like a guy wearing it, and it was like all red or all blue or something. Looked really nice.
It looks cool, because there was always that theory like, oh, they don't change those kind of exotics because they want people to know that you have that ability,
right?
But it's like, sweet. That thing doesn't match anything. Yeah. Sweet.
Pretty cool.
Very cool.
Last thing, they finally rolled out their Skory Change in the manner that they had suggested previously. To activate Skory, you have to get a kill, and it lasts for 1 minute from kill to kill. So definitely going to solve that camping problem in trials.
Yeah, for sure. I think this is another example of them like possibly hitting like right on with this, because in PvE it's going to be super effective still. Yeah. And in PvP, I think this type of tweak wasn't even on our radar. I remember when they announced it. So I wonder, like we talked about how long a minute's going to feel, but there's still so many other factors that are going to play into it for you to eat. Like you said, everybody's going to have to regroup. So I don't know. Seems like a pretty brilliant
change.
It
feels like a long time in trials, though.
It does. It does really feel like a long time. Yeah.
A lot can happen in 60 seconds in that game.
Yep.
So it's long enough to make a difference. I mean, if it was like it's 15 seconds, I'd be like, okay, great. Not much of a difference. But for that to last a minute, I mean, you can basically get like a quarter to a half a super out of that charged up.
Yep.
So
that was my first worry. Well, I remember when we talked about it the full minute. You went on to talk about, though, like all, the coordination that would have to happen after you get the kill if you're not already together. And ultimately, though, like coming back to it, a minute like you said, specifically in trials, is quite a long time. But we'll see.
I think so.
We'll see.
Yeah. So that was the major stuff this week. So we just have to look forward to it dropping on Tuesday morning, the 28th. And I think it's going to be fun.
Actually, I guess you could be downloading it or just a few hours away as you're listening to this.
True that. You could be playing it right now. Who knows?
Could be.
Tell us how it is.
Yeah, tweet at Destiny Reset. How you like it?
Tell past us through the future us.
Yes.
If this is fun.
If you're still with him, then definitely do
if
that.
you're still following me, then go watch Back to the Future Part 3.
Yes.
Well, so yeah, there's, some fun gameplay. I know that I'm pretty much going to be locked down for the next at least month and a half playing these weekly raids.
Yeah.
And doing these daybreak strikes and just, the daily heroic thing I think it's going to be fun.
I think
the playlist.
It's cool. Like it is a really neat way to wrap it up. We talked about am I really going to want to go hunt that Fatebringer down again? But just the different little layers they're doing to get back in there and get that adept version of the Fatebringer to drop. It's going to feel as close to that original moment, I think, as it possibly could.
Yeah.
I will say, and at some point this may be a main topic to talk about between now and Destiny 2, but I really hope, the only thing to me missing from all of this hype is a hybrid of what you and I talked about in the first stream. I really hope they really pay off with rewarding veteran players going into Destiny 2, whether it be nostalgic, whether it be whatever, this or that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't want to get off on this tangent too far, but this is all so cool and super neat. And I don't want to take all this stuff into Destiny 2. I just hope there's a little icing on the cake that's oh, we're going to take care of you guys. Don't you worry.
I hope so too.
You know what I mean?
I hope so too. I've talked about this a few times this week, and it's tough because I don't think they're going to tell us until
right then,
maybe right before or right when it drops, what they're going to do. But they did say we're going to do something special for the year one players in Destiny 2 to show that. But who knows what it's going to be.
I mean, when you step back and think about it, it's there's no possible way. I can take anything from my Suros to my No Land to my whatever you want into Destiny 2. But
right.
I think we could have confidence that they're going to make us feel special.
Yeah. I always trust them to take care of us.
All right.
Well, you ready for some of them Derp Fam feels, man?
I am, dude. It's been 2 weeks. The weekly dose of this is what makes it amazing. With capital letters.
With capital letters. I think we've got a speak pipe, don't we?
We do. We
From
actually
Mr.
have
Dreadnought.
Yes, we've got a question. This is what we want you guys to send us. Send us your questions. What is just bugging you, or what are you enjoying? Whatever. Phrase it in a question and send it in via SpeakPipe.
Absolutely. So let's take a listen.
Hey Dirt Fam, Dreadnought78 here, wanting to give some opinions on these special MO changes in the Crucible. Now, I'm not very good at the Crucible. Guys who have played with me realize this. I'm usually at the bottom of the list. But still not having special when I die and respawn in really prevents me from gaining the confidence that I would need to play the Crucible. It would be nice if they changed it to where you still spawn in with special, and then when you die, you at least have something. I mean, most shotguns have 4 in the clip. Same with fusions. Maybe you just have 1 or 2, so it cuts down to half. And if you grab a special ammo crate and you die, you're still spawning in with at least a full clip of special. It would really help gain my confidence in the Crucible to know that I still have a special. So whenever somebody does come rushing at me when I'm spawning in, I have a chance to kill them instead of having to rely on a RNG, no perks primary that I have. But it's just some thoughts. What do you guys think? If you ever wanted to help me out, you guys are welcome. Dreadnought78 on the Xbox One. Thank you so much, Dirt Fam. You stay classy out there.
So this is this is a good conundrum he's bringing up here, right? Because I think what Bungie has made a very obvious effort towards is making sure that they don't estrange the casual player, quote unquote casual. I think that's really a loose term. It has a very broad range of players it can include, but let's say the lower skilled bracket of players.
You just made me realize too, there's a difference between casual player and PvE versus PvP,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, no, you got to be careful with those definitions, because even using the term hardcore is not, it's very subjective, to
right.
okay, well, there's hardcore, but then there's like the diehard hardcore.
Yeah. Yep.
But anyways, I think that the skill gap is probably going to be wider than it has been for a while. And I was talking with somebody about skill, kind of the Crucible skill gap in year 1, and how it was really wide because things were a lot more punishing. Like time to kill was shorter on a lot of guns. Like things were a lot faster. I personally got my butt handed to me up and down the court.
Right. Yeah.
And so it kind of raises a question of if it's accessible for the average player. But I think in the end, I think it has more to do with changing habits than a real problem, because it's not like just the casual player has the problem that he doesn't have any special when he dies. I think that it's more of a change that, even the casual player, the player that, has a very low skill level, like they're going to have to learn defensive habits a lot quicker than offensive habits.
Right.
What do you think?
I think, of course here too, another layer and kind of what you're going to say. And I mean, they're promoting a different type of weapon to use, they want you to use your primary. And that's what people have asked for a long time. I will say, for a casual PvP player or a lower tier skill level PvP player, dying and losing your special, I definitely can see how that can be painful. Even myself, as soon as that patch dropped, I was getting my secondary out as soon as I spawned. I didn't even realize how used to having a ton of special I was. I was swapping to my shotgun like instantly in 6s. But I agree with his possible tweak or tune to it, which you and I have talked about multiple times, that I still think I'm fine with it the way it is, especially if they tweak timers on trials boxes like I mentioned before. But if they gave us half of a mag, like he mentioned, on spawn, to me, you're still going to use your primary. You're going to be very particular and specific about when you're going to use those secondary shots, even if it's a shotgun or a sniper. Even in trials, if I only spawn with 1 or 2 sniper shots, I'm not just going to run and fire them off real quick,
Yeah.
So, I like that as a possible option. Obviously, we know they're not going to do that with this, at least this next update. I don't know how many more sandbox or tweaks to PvP we'll get between now and Destiny 2. Did they say this is it as far as like a
No,
PvP
they
tweaks?
they mentioned a couple other things that are in the pipeline to get changed.
Okay. So
I don't think this is it.
Okay.
God, I don't know. I hate to say it, but it's like I don't know why they would keep tweaking.
Changing it, yeah.
At this point, it's like at some point they just got to let it be what it's going to be. But so I appreciate it. I'm just surprised.
Right. Yeah. And I'm, it's kind of nice to hear, if there's something that's a little off and everybody agrees, they'll jump in and tweak it. But I don't know. This is a valid point Dreadnought has. I think his example of a tweak is very viable. But
it's kind of what I've been asking for.
Dude, you mentioned it like
Give me my
I
mag.
think the first stream I had up after the update, you said that, and ever since then I'm just like, I mean, it makes sense. You'll have enough to
defend yourself.
Yeah, but you won't have
Basically.
so much that you're gonna just do it, lazily. You're not just gonna run out and empty your mag. So
Right.
we'll see.
Yeah, I think they need to let it play out some more, and if they don't notice it's enough of a problem for everyone, they may not change anything. You
Right.
know.
Mm-hmm.
But I think that we're gonna be due an Iron Banner in maybe like a week or two.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
Couple weeks.
And that can be a good place for them to see on a bigger scale like what's going on, because it always brings in
I
more
think you're
PvP
right.
players.
I think they count on Iron Banner to see what their numbers on the
data.
back end look like. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good time to run it. Well, thanks for that. Those thoughts, I
Dreadnought,
guess
thanks.
thanks for that idea, Dreadnought. We appreciate that. We have an email
We
from
do?
Mike, aka Mike Bones.
Mike Bones.
Mike Bones. He says, "Good day, fellow Guardians. My email, without a doubt, has to be about the co-founder. He recently helped me and a few others in the family get the Flawless Raider Challenge. He has also been helping me run Crota's Inn hard mode to try and get Crux of Crota, so that I may finally get the Necrochasm, something I will never use. Also, one last thing. Pineapple pizza for life. Titan Masterclass. Mike Bones." Well, I know you wrote this before this stream, because you're going to want that Necrochasm.
Right.
Soon, my friend.
Yep. That was one of our banked blue
Dude,
Mike
that is a
emails.
good auto rifle.
Yep.
Like, the fact that... Oh, did you hear the change they're making to
Like
it?
it procs no matter
On
what
every
now, right?
kill.
Yeah.
Can you imagine that in, like, Clash? Oh, that's going to be so much fun.
Yep. I have not even attempted to get that weapon.
Dude, it's a great auto rifle.
Yeah. Yep.
I cannot wait. I can't wait for just the sound of that thing just filling the halls.
That's great. That's great.
Well, thanks for that email, Mike.
Yeah,
Co-founder, great job, man.
Dude, it's awesome.
On just
what
helping
those
out
guys
your fellow
do.
Guardians.
Getting the Flawless Raider stuff, co-founder and Maynard James. It's so cool. Helping people out
Absolutely.
with that.
That's a tough trophy for people to get that platinum trophy or to get all your achievements in. So that's a good one under your belt, man. So Flawless Raider, it's a big one. Well, that's the Dirt Fam Feels this week.
That's them.
If you want to submit a feels, you can email us at destinyresetpodcast@gmail.com, or you can go to speakpipe.com/destinyreset and leave us a little voice message, and you can be featured right here.
We will fit it in.
Absolutely.
Send us your questions. We love questions.
Yep.
Oh, of course we love the feels, but we get tons of feels.
Look, man, sometimes I need to take a break from feelings. You know?
We don't want to cry every episode. Or is that just me?
No, I don't. I mean, I try not to. All right, man. Well, fun show this week. Good to be
very fun.
back.
Very good to be back.
Looking forward to talking again next week after we played all this fun stuff.
Right.
And, especially Crota's Inn reworked.
Their
That's going to be a blast.
trilogy of streams that they like to throw out sometimes, just like by the time that the patch drops, we're like so ready to jump in and just check it out.
They're good at kind of working us up to a frenzy,
Yes.
huh?
I also nerd out on the patch notes too, because they even tease now in the updates this week at Bungie's. They even did it this week. They're like, and there'll be some other things in there we didn't mention.
Mm-hmm.
It's like everybody just goes hunting for it immediately.
Yep. I'm kind of stoked to like explore and see what kind of secrets they already somebody found. I know we're like the show's over, but Crota's Inn, they had a picture approaching like the door after the bridge.
Yeah, I saw this.
Yeah, and they had all the statues, and they retweeted and were like, this is one of the secrets that you'll have to explore.
Very
so
cool.
I'm looking forward to solving some mysteries, possibly.
Like a brand new game.
I know, man. I'm so excited.
It is exciting. Very exciting.
All right, we're done here.
We're done.
Where
How
can
about
people
those
find
plugs? You can find me at the Arrow Knight on Twitter and Arrow Knight on Twitch and YouTube. What about you, man?
Excellent. You can find me at Cyborg Sasquatch on Twitter and Twitch. And finally, you can find us at Destiny Reset on Twitter. Drop us a follow or go to www.destinyresetpodcast.com. That's your source for all things DRP, including a hosted version of the YouTube. If you want to watch this, maybe you're sitting at your computer at work, or if you want to subscribe to us, there's links to all of the podcast apps we are hosted through, and you can click right through.
Right there.
Right on there.
It's all there.
All right, man.
No new iTunes reviews this week. This is the point in the show where Cyborg likes to give you a guilt trip, and I like to say thanks to everyone. No, I'm just kidding.
I'm just saying, like, we're so close to 100 reviews.
We are 95. Dude, we got 3 in like one day a couple weeks ago. 5, guys. We need 5.
It would just, I think it would really make Arrow
switch
Knight's
roles.
week.
Yeah, let's switch roles. Guys, we just need 5. And Cyborg, you say.
Lay it on, man. Just
But
lay it on thick.
Thank you for all the other ones.
Guys, thanks for your reviews this week. It's just so nice.
But guys, we just need 5. We just need 5.
I know.
Just 5.
Good job.
You're right, though, man. We're almost at 100. That's pretty cool.
We're almost there. So, yeah, great show, man.
Great show, dude. Yep.
It's a pleasure.
Always a pleasure. All right. Until next week, have fun playing Destiny. And take care, Guardians.